Do you think you could make money by becoming an Airbnb host, but have no idea how to start? Hi, I'm Terry O'Connor. I'm a realtor in the Los Angeles County area, and I've also been an Airbnb and VRB host for many, many years. I started out renting a Palm Springs vacation rental long before there was even a thing called Airbnb. My parents had the foresight back in 1979 to purchase a condo on a golf course in Palm Springs. They paid about 10 cents for it. Anyway, back in those days, their realtor hooked people up with snowbirds who would come from the Midwest to Canada to stay for the winter months, the season in Palm Springs. My mom and dad happily rented to the same people for 25 years. Sadly, the couple became too disabled to travel far after that. And this is where I came in. I was starting my real estate business. So I started using the same tools and started marketing the home myself for them. This was also really before the internet, but there was emails. But I would actually call people, local realtors, neighbors, friends. Every year we got the home rented for the winter season, but every year it was a struggle. So once VRBO was up and running, in those early days, I was able to get the home listed and rented. My parents, however, were old school and they wanted to meet everyone that stayed in their home in person. They wanted to hand the keys to the guest, size them up, and show them around the place. As years went on, though, I was able to kind of help them lighten up. I would read them guest reviews, which was really helpful. And we were able to kind of do it non-contact. My next experience was a little rental house I had in Burbank that became vacant in 2019, right before the pandemic. I had a brilliant idea to transform it to an Airbnb. I invested in updating and furnishing it, and once it was live, it was a hit. Growing up in Burbank, I had no idea what a hub it was for visitors. People wanted to be near Universal, the Harry Potter stuff, Hollywood, beach, downtown LA. And Burbank is a great little town in a big city, I like to say. So it was initially booked up 6 months in advance. Unfortunately for the world, COVID struck and cancellations came in lightning fast, like every day. I was like, oh my God. And some were heartbreaking. People were really, really terrified and couldn't travel, and it was horrible. But then I started getting bookings from people who lived in the area and needed to quarantine. For instance, I had one family who was waiting for their visas to clear in the country they had been planning to move to. They sold their house. They needed a home to stay in until this process could be worked out, which of course would take months but because of the pandemic, even longer. So they ended up staying 6 months and they were a delight, and they really saved the business because I don't know what I would have done without them. And I thank them if they ever see this. As the long COVID months drove on, I was extremely fortunate to get any bookings. And again, it was like mostly families that wanted to quarantine for the 10 or 14, I forget however long they had to quarantine before they could see grandma, who lived in Burbank. I knew things were turning the corner though, when I started getting requests from guests in other countries again. Surely a good sign. And it has been. People from the UK, Germany, France, and Austria have all been through the pink door at my little Burbank Airbnb called Bungalow Blue Burbank, if you're interested in looking. I tell you this story because it's good to know that you can always find a way to make being a host work. I know it's cliche, but you have to think outside of the box and be flexible. So here are some tips to get your thinking going when considering starting an Airbnb or a vacation rental. Number one, arbitrage. What? I had to look up the word myself when I first heard it, but it's a brilliant idea. Quote, it's the simultaneous buying and selling of securities, currency, or commodities, a house, in different markets or in derivative forms in order to take advantage of differing prices for the same asset. I know. Sounds so important. But here's how it works in the Airbnb VRBO platform. You find a property that is for rent. You rent the property as a long-term rental, and this is important, with the consent of the landlord. You then make it a vacation rental. So you provide furnishings, supplies, internet, possibly pay utilities. It's all in your contract you have with the owner. And all the other costs that you have to have for having an Airbnb, like paper towels. But remember, again, always get the landlord's consent. That's so important. The second one's really important too. Check the local laws. Every city and municipality has their own rules. Some have no rules. Some are really strict and expensive. Palm Springs, for example. Number three, Do you have RV parking on your property? Do you have an RV? Is it possible to turn into your RV into a vacation rental? Yes, it is. Make sure there's like an outside space, and if at all possible, a separate private entrance. Install a hedge or a fence for guests to have privacy. Don't let the RV sit there draining money. Rent it out as a vacation rental. Do you have a finished basement or a garage? Or an unfinished basement or a garage? Well, finish them and rent them out. And follow the ideas that I suggested for the RV. A separate entrance, private space, outdoor space are very popular with guests. Last, when furnishing for your Airbnb, you find secondhand stuff. Go on Facebook Marketplace. You'll find some really cool, unique things. The only thing I would say not to be cheap on is the beds. You buy the best quality bed you can afford. Do not buy dishes and glassware. Don't even go to Target or go to thrift stores. They have whole sets. You can get them super cheap. They're unique. They're fun. And it's the best way to go. You get your knickknacks there too, and some of your lighting. Try and do it on a budget tastefully. You don't need a lot of stuff to begin with because it's a vacation place. People don't want a bunch of stuff everywhere. They want to be able to put their stuff everywhere. So I hope that helps you with your journey on becoming an Airbnb host or VRBO. Excuse me. If you have any other questions, please message me if you need some more advice. I'm going to make a few more in a series of the Airbnb, so please subscribe and follow me, and we can talk more. If you want to buy or sell a house in the Los Angeles County area, even Ventura or Orange County, I go everywhere. I travel. So message me and we can talk. Thanks a lot. Have a great afternoon.